This is Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chiles, www.superhotchilies.com. It is January 9th, 2021, and we just finished picking some peppers on January 8th, and we spread them all out today, and we just want to show you our January harvest. Now, we live in San Diego, in the foothills, so we do get frost, but we haven't gotten any, really strong frost to kill all the plants. Some plants are crappy and dying, but some plants still have peppers ripening on them, but they're not producing. Producing is when flowers turn into new peppers. That's not happening. We're just waiting for what's on the plant to turn color. That's about it. So I'm going to go through what we picked, okay? Over here we have Helix Nebula. That's a Asian cayenne from China. Then we have Syrian Goathorn. That's a larger, thicker cayenne type from Syria. Then we have Cristal. Cristal is a sweet roasting heirloom from Spain. Then we have Turkish Flower Biber, which is spicy and productive. It ripens from a purple blue to a burgundy red, and they grow up in clusters of multiple peppers like a flower. Here we have Guernica. This is a Spanish heirloom. Those plants are done. It's got a nice savory flavor. And then we have Orange Thai, which is a fruitier Thai pepper than the regular red Thai, and they grow pointing down. And then down here we have Pimenta Espelette. Pimenta Espelette is an heirloom from Spain. That's about the average size. And in Spain and France, the south of France, adjacent to Spain, in the Basque region, they use Pimenta Espelette as a substitute for black pepper because it's a lot better than black pepper. You can probably buy it online if you want to taste it, but it's very expensive. This is Lisa. These are the last two peppers of Lisa. That's the shape of Lisa. Those plants are done for the year. Over here we have a little mixed match of peppers. This is Rayados Jalapeno. There's only a few here, but there's 100 and something left on the plants. It's one of the most productive jalapeno types I've ever grown. Also one of the most flavorful. And then you've got a couple Trinidad Sweet and Habanero Tabaquite next to that. And here we have Paradixum Alacu. It's a sweet roasting pepper from Hungary. Has a kind of tomato-looking shape. They get a lot bigger than this, folks. They get the size of a large heirloom tomato. These are winter peppers, so they're going to be smaller. So it's sweet, no heat. This is Red Dominica Habanero from the island of Dominica. Not Dominican Republic, Dominica. Here we have the last of our Prima Tali peppers, which is a cross between the 7-pot Primo and a Fatali. Known for getting a long tail, but these are the end of the season peppers, so there's got a little tail on that one. And there's some Snow White. That's a white habanero we're very productive. Probably out of all the white habaneros, except for the white Moruga, this is the most productive. But plants are done for the season. And then we have some small Thor's Hammer Peach. Thor's Hammer Peach is a super hot cross developed by Jess Christensen of Denmark. And then over here we have Jalapeno Diaguito, which is an accidental jalapeno cross from Italy. It's sweet and fruity, not too much heat. They get kind of a heart shape like this. And they get the corking lines. You see the corking lines on that Rayados jalapeno? They get that. But these are winter peppers. So it's not hot enough for them to get those corking lines with this variety. Over here we have Chile Negro, and this is from central Mexico somewhere. It's dried and used in, as a powder in mole sauces and other kinds of Mexican sauces. And then we have another Mexican heirloom called Zapotec Jalapeno, which we've grown and sold for many years. This is from Oaxaca, Mexico. It's got a very good, consistent heat. They get a lot bigger than these too, but this is end of the season peppers, as I'm reminding you guys a few times as I shoot this video. Here we have Erotico, or Erotica Orange. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's a Capsicum bacatum species. It was developed by an Italian grower. His name is on my website, if you want to know the name. I don't know it off the top of my head. And it's very productive, and it's erotic looking. Over here we have Tunisian Bakhluti. Tunisian Bakhluti is from Tunisia, Africa. So there you go, from Tunisia, Africa. And it's got a nice savory flavor, very little heat, if any heat at all. Okay? Very little heat, if any at all. And then we have over here Habanero Diarbol. It's not a habanero, and it's not a Diarbol. but they grow pointing up like a diarbol. They look kind of orangey, like an orange habanero. And they call it the tree pepper, which they call chili diarbol. These plants can get 8 feet tall or more. Very fruity, below habanero heat. They don't have a habanero heat. This is Nora. This is a pepper from Spain. And it's got nice fruity notes to it, and it's mild, if at any heat, maybe not even any heat at all. It's usually stuffed, but it's also dried and used in cooking dishes. Nora from Spain. Then we have the white moruga. This is it for the white moruga this year. There's one pepper that's got the moruga shape, but let me tell you, these peppers, this white moruga, there's another one that's kind of got a moruga shape. In the beginning of the season, you will not get peppers looking like a moruga, and at the end of the season, in the middle and the height of the season, you will get more peppers that will have a moruga shape. That's just the way it goes. And I had 3 people growing it with me in different areas of the country, so we could observe the differences, and we all saw the same thing. This is purple Marconi. They ripen, it's a sweet pepper, originally from Italy. They ripen from green to red, to purple to red. But they stay kind of a burgundy red. You see that? Like a burgundy purple red. This is Santa Fe chocolate. Santa Fe chocolate is a delicious pepper. We don't know if it's from Central America or Mexico. We tried to find out information on it. We can't trace the information on it. We tried. We really, really did. This is Bourgogne Red and Bourgogne Chocolate. It's a super hot cross developed by a guy named John. Information's on my website. It's a cross, I believe, of the 7-Pot bubblegum and the Nagla, which those are both crosses. And very, very hot. Been around a while. Good 6 or 7 years. This is Pimiento de Arnoya. It's a large roasting stuffing pepper from Spain. No heat. These are small. Pimiento de Arnoyas, they can get as big as my forearm almost in length. Well, not as big as my forearm, but I got small forearms anyway. But they get big. They get big like a huge bell. Same with the one right next to it, Zolotisti. Zolotisti is from Russia, and it's a sweet roasting pepper from Russia. Very hard to find the seeds, but we do have them. We've had it for years. Not a big seller because a lot of people don't know what it is. So I suggest you grow it because maybe one day it'll disappear if we go out of business. And this is the Liebesapfel. The Liebesapfel is a red roasting stuffing pepper from Germany. And we don't know if it was developed by a German agricultural company. It looks very similar to Paradixum alacu, but there's also a red stuffing pepper from Hungary that looks just like this. But this one's from Germany, Liebesapfel, which means love apple. This is Tangerine Dream. This was developed by a seed company years ago. We don't know which one. And it's nice and fruity and sweet and pretty productive. Not too many seeds. So I don't like that about it because I sell seeds. So I like peppers with lots of seeds. That's more seeds for me to sell. But for you guys that eat it, it doesn't have many seeds. Tangerine Dream. This is Asi Sivri. This is a Turkish cayenne type. Now, I mentioned in my other video before, there's many cayenne types from all over the world, and they've kind of evolved in the soil and climate they're in. So they all have different flavors. So don't think Asi Sivri or going back over here to Helix Nebula from China, which is a cayenne type. Don't think they're all like cayenne tasting because they're not. They're all are different from one another. Okay. Moving along over here, we have some elephant ears from Croatia. It's a sweet pepper. They're huge. These are end of the season peppers, so they're small and they're not fat. Elephant ears kind of looks like that, but just envision it being a lot wider. Like add about 2 inches of width on either side and still have that look. That's what elephant ears looks like. This is Anaheim orange. We got this from Jess Christensen. It's an Anaheim pepper that ripens to orange. So it's fruitier than your normal Anaheim. Here's a couple of peppers of Trinidad red Scotch bonnet. They are Scotch bonnet type, but they do not get that typical Scotch bonnet shape. And a lot of you don't maybe know that yet because you're new growers, but a lot of Scotch bonnet types that are called by the natives who live in the Caribbean Scotch bonnets do not have the Scotch bonnet look. They don't, but they call them Scotch bonnets. So we can't argue with them because they're from their country. CP115 red. This is the red variant of the CP115, a super hot cross developed by Christopher Phillips. a very knowledgeable and longtime grower who lives up in Michigan. And this is the red variant. Over here, we have a nice pile of Scotch Bonnet Freeport Orange, one of the most productive Scotch Bonnets and tastiest Scotch Bonnets I've ever grown. And it is from the Bahamas, an island in the Caribbean, the Bahamas. Over here, we got a little pile of Papa Dreddy Scotch Bonnet and a couple of Jay's Chocolate Ghost Scorpion. Just to be honest with you folks, we may never grow Jay's Chocolate Ghost Scorpion again because they just didn't really produce well. We may play around with it one year to see if it does better, but for the first year, it was bad. And then over here, we have some MOA Red Scotch Bonnet. This is a red Scotch Bonnet type. Probably the hottest of all the Scotch Bonnet types I grow. The only Scotch Bonnet type that's hotter than this or close to heat in this is the chocolate Scotch Bonnet. Because if you're new to growing and you're new to Chiles, reds and browns are your hottest color variant of any kind of pepper in the super hots or in the habanero types. So just remember, red and brown are the hottest. Then comes yellows, mustards, peach, white, and all those, okay? But red and browns are always going to be your hotter. And this is MOA Yellow Scotch Bonnet. So this is the yellow. And you can see some have the Scotch Bonnet shape, some do not. Again, not all Scotch Bonnets have consistent Scotch Bonnet shapes throughout the plant. That's the way the native Scotch Bonnets are. If anybody tells you differently, that they all got to look like flying saucers, they're full of crap. Because they don't all look like flying saucers. They don't. They don't. Some plants may produce more flying saucer-looking pods than others. But because if they don't, and you only get some, you still have Scotch Bonnet, okay? Because I got my seeds from Jamaica, all right? This is some small ají amarillo. I would not grow ají amarillo if you have a very short growing season because they take forever to turn orange. There's probably a couple pounds on the plants right now that are green, and they've been green for 2 months, and they still haven't turned orange. Just saying. I grow it every year because it's a good seller, but ají amarillo, unless you're going to bring your plants indoors to finish the ripening process, ají amarillo, they're delicious. They're great chili. They're one of the most popular ají types other than ají lemon drop, but they take a while to ripen. Here we have Wrecking Ball Cross 7-Pot Brown. This is a cross by Chad Selesky. We're going to modify the name on our website later this year, just call it Wrecking Ball Red. I'm tired of these long cross names, blah, 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 cross, blah, 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 blah. It's a pain in the ass. It's a super long name. People don't buy because of the super long name. It's better just to have one solid name for it. So we'll just probably call it Wrecking Ball Red. Just like the brown one we call it Wrecking Ball Chocolate. This is Foodorama Yellow Scotch Bonnet. They do get a little bit more of a flying saucer shape than the MOA. Just saying. And over here we have Bootla Scorpion Red. This is also from Chad Selesky, the guy I just mentioned with the Bootla. And the Bootla Bubblegum crosses and the regular Bootla and the Wrecking Ball 7-Pot Brown. Those are all from Chad Selesky, a grower in Wisconsin. Great guy. Now, this is the Bootla Scorpion. Now, some of them do get a scorpion shape, but a lot don't. But let me tell you about Bootla Scorpion. It doesn't have the best super hot flavor, but it's one of the top producers. And if you're interested in a burn, like you're one of those people that says, I want your hottest. I want your hottest. What's your hottest? Well, Bootla Scorpion's one of my hottest. Now, I'm not, to me, it's hotter than the Reaper. To a lot of other people, it's hotter than the Reaper. Has it been tested against the Reaper? Does it have a record? No, but I don't care. I don't give a crap. If I think something the hottest, then you know what? To me, it's the hottest. And if you think something's the hottest, then to you, it's the hottest. Forget about what's in the magazine or the newspaper or the TV show where the whole bunch of idiots are eating a bunch of hot peppers and saying that this is the hottest. Forget about their opinions. Your opinion as a grower, your opinion as a chili lover and a spicy food lover is what counts. So grow a bunch of super hots, and whatever you think burns you the most, that you enjoy the most, grow again and again and again. And forget about what everybody else says. You know? If chocolate ice cream you think is the best ice cream in the world, you're going to let some clown tell you that vanilla is better? When to you, chocolate is best? No. No, to you, chocolate is best. So you're not going to stop buying chocolate because some idiot, I'm not going to say idiot, some other person with another opinion says that vanilla is better than chocolate. No, you're not. So if you are after the burn, grow new super hots every year. And then you decide for yourself what is the hottest. It's as simple as that. And don't let anyone tell you any different. And if you want to decide that something's the sweetest, or and if something grows better for you than other stuff grows better, don't let anybody tell you, well, that doesn't grow too good. I mean, some varieties, like Jay's Chocolate Ghost, didn't grow good for me. I'm just being honest with you guys. Maybe it'll produce better where you live. I don't know. I don't live where you live. Moving along. Calabrian pepper. So this is a hot cherry type from Calabria, Italy. MK Yellow Trash is from Micah Kennedy, a friend of mine in Alabama. And this is yellow. Why is it called yellow trash? Because a bunch of stuff crossed and made it. And that's why he called it trash. So we named it MK Yellow Trash. It's somewhat consistent, but it's another super hot cross. And you might like it. So try it. The 7-pot Katie. This is a 7-pot variant from the UK. The story's on my website. This is Queen Lori. Very similar to Ahi Amarillo. Now, these are baby Ahi Amarillo. Ahi Amarillo can get 6-8 inches long. Queen Lori, that's about the size you get. They're fruity. They're very productive. But for this year we didn't get a lot of productivity on them. They got hit by bugs. We planted them late. Excuses. They didn't do great for us this year. But we got enough seed that we can continue selling it, and it doesn't disappear. This is Trinidad Pimento. This is a no-heat variety from Trinidad. And it's also called the seasoning pepper. So it's got a habanero flavor, but no heat. Here's some more Santa Fe chocolate. We didn't put them in the pile with the other Santa Fe chocolate, but this is Santa Fe chocolate. Okay? And we already mentioned it earlier, so we're not going to go into that. This is MOA Madame Jeanette. And this is the Madame Jeanette pepper from Suriname, South America, or Suriname. Sorry if I said the name wrong, for you people who are from that region of South America, or that country. And it's crossed with the MOA Yellow Scotch Bonnet. It's very fruity. It's very delicious. Got citrus tones. Very productive. I like it a lot. I got my seeds from Sandra Tipton. It was created by a guy named Garrett, I believe. Info's on my website. And here we have Costino Amarillo. Costino Amarillo is an heirloom from Oaxaca, Mexico. And then we have gochugaru. Gochugaru is a Korean hot pepper from Korea. And it's one of many Korean hot peppers. Let tell you one really brief thing. I once had a guy tell me not too long ago that your Korean peppers aren't the real Korean peppers. Well, you know what? There's probably about 50 or 100 Korean peppers that all look very similar. Maybe some are fatter, some are longer, some are skinnier. Some are hotter, some are milder. There isn't just one Korean pepper. The gochugaru is one of the most popular, and then I have a smaller type called the Korean Hot. That's all I know is it's called Korean Hot. It's an heirloom. That's the one the guy said wasn't a real Korean. Whatever. People are entitled to their opinions. Don't grow it again if you don't think it's the original. This is Jigsaw. This is a super hot cross developed by Juka Fatalia, Finland. And these are the end of the season peppers. They're smaller. Some of them are just a light orange. The seeds are good when you pick them when they're light orange. I don't have to wait till they get red. But I needed to pick them just to get done with the plants this year. This is Aji Chicotillo, and here's Aji Chicotillo. It is a aji type that's very productive, fruity, nice thick flesh, so you could stuff them from Bolivia. And I got my seeds from Jess Christensen of Denmark. Aji types from Bolivia are very rare, by the way. Bolivia doesn't like to let anything come out of their country. Over here we have Hawaiian Sweet Hot. It's kind of a cayenne type, but it's sweet and fruity, and the heat is up front. It will hit you in the mouth quickly like a cayenne. Hawaiian Sweet Hot, and very productive, by the way. And this is Israeli Sweet. It's a sweet pepper from Israel, but it's not a big sweet pepper. They're small. They're about the size of an average jalapeno, or even a below average size jalapeno. And Israeli Sweet. Then over here we have Szigeti 179. Szigeti 179 is from Hungary. It's a spicy paprika. That means it's got a little bit of spice and heat. But most paprikas are not hot except for Targu Merez. Targu Merez has the heat level of a Serrano. Looks like a Serrano from Transylvania. Otherwise, most paprikas are just spicy, detectable heat, or sweet and no heat at all. Szigeti 179. And then over here we have Sriracha Giant Sweet Chocolate. Now, Sriracha Giant Sweet Chocolate, you're going like, well, that's a good-sized pepper. No. When we picked these in the middle of the summer, they were about 6 inches longer than these. They were over a foot, some of them, and they were a couple of inches in diameter. This is a chocolate sweet pepper that Sandra Tipton, a grower friend of ours in Indianapolis, found in a market in Indianapolis. And she named it Sriracha Giant Sweet Chocolate Pepper. It's the largest brown sweet pepper, long-wise. I mean, there's some large sweet chocolate bells that are big and fat and heavy, but this is the largest sweet chocolate pepper we've ever grown, and they're very productive, and they keep on producing as long as the weather permits. Then over here, we have a nice big pile of ahi mango, similar in flavor to ahi lemon drop. Some people say it's got a mango flavor. You know, again, you guys are going to have to grow it and decide if it's got a mango flavor. You may go, that doesn't have a mango flavor. That's your opinion, and your opinion's important as far as that goes. You can give me your opinions on stuff, and I'll listen, but as far as what you like, that's going to be important to you. You know, don't let me influence what you like. I'll get you the varieties. You try them out. You like them. You hate them. You want to grow them again. That's going to be your decision. Don't let anybody tell you what you should be liking. Nobody should be telling you what you should be liking. I know I've already rambled on about this. So this is Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chilies, www.superhotchilies.com. And these are our peppers from our January pickings. Okay? Our January pickings. So, you all take care. Then we got light on the card. And have a safe 2021. Hopefully our government calms down, our pandemic calms down, and you guys are, you know, be safe. Keep your family close. Love your family. Love your neighbors. Enjoy your chilies. And be safe. Take care.